Hey everyone, it's Monica. Welcome back to my Bible journaling channel. Today is Wildcard Wednesday, where I get to share a random page that I've completed with you or talk about a technique that I'm really enjoying. Today it is a random page that I decided to journal in my Bible. Romans 12, 1 and 2, especially says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind." I wanted to share with you how I got this crazy idea. I had this picture come to my mind when I was kind of processing these verses ahead of time, and I felt like the Lord gave me this picture of a flowering plant growing from a seed. And so I thought that would just be a really great progression to sketch out on the page. And so that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just using my mechanical pencil to get kind of the idea of where I want things. And then this was where I sort of got really excited. I'm using this washi tape and weakening the adhesive on my skin before I put it on the Bible. And I'm masking off Romans 12, 1 and 2, especially the parts that talk about transformation and growth and things. And I'm writing the word transformation and the word renewal. But something really exciting happened, and that was that as I was reading over the page once again, I found this verse up in chapter 11, and you can see me masking it off here. And it says, "Remember, it is not you who support the root, but the root that supports you." And I just thought that was super fitting for what I was doing on the page. It's exciting sometimes because every once in a while you get these little confirmations that yes, this picture God gave you was actually from Him, did have a purpose, did have a real connection. So as you can see, I've pulled out my watercolor crayons here, and I'm still new to using these. I've been using some water-soluble oil pastels in my Bible and loving those, and I wanted to get a set of the watercolor crayons to see how they compare, and they are somewhat different. The application and technique is very similar though, so if you have one or the other, you could do this. And I just went in and I added some brown for the dirt, keeping it just to the top because I wanted to fade it out toward the bottom. And you can see I've just gone through and kind of colored in my sketch here. And I'm just adding some blue sky here and making it the most intense blue around the important parts of the scripture or around the words that I've added in to remind me what this page was all about. So as I add water to the page here and start to blend things, I do just want to talk briefly about what the scripture means to me. As I was working on this, I was just thinking about how we truly can't do any of this on our own. None of this can happen, none of this blooming and none of this growth can happen without those roots that Paul reminds us we are not to forget. We're to remember those roots and know that it is the roots that support us and not the other way around. And so kind of I was thinking about, what am I rooted in? What are the things that are my sort of non-negotiables for my life, things that I feel very rooted in? And of course, the Lord comes to mind, the Bible comes to mind. Really thinking about that, and how do you prioritize keeping your roots healthy so that you can find this transformation and this renewal and this growth in your own life. And that was something I was kind of processing here as I was smoothing out these scribbly marks. One thing I do want to mention about using these watercolor crayons is I kind of find them a little less forgiving than actual watercolor. Basically, once you have the color on the page, you can't add water and then lift the color the same way that you can with normal watercolors. And maybe I still need to just work on my technique, but it's been an interesting journey experimenting with these. So you can see I'm just going through and smoothing out all of the scribbles that I've done on the page, making sure there's no place that I've missed. And I am going to just blow it with some air to make sure every part is dry. And then I'm going in with a Faber-Castell PITT pen, and I'm sort of just adding a bit of shadow to the roots. I didn't want to fully outline them, so you can see I'm kind of adding these lines to the right side or the underside of each little root, almost as if I was doing block lettering or something. And this is always the fun part, removing the washi tape and revealing the scripture verses that were important to me. And then I'm just using a very organic looking print handwriting to write in these words: transformation, faithfulness, renewal, growth. And then I grabbed my PITT Artist pens, the brush tip ones, and just went in to add some smoothness to the lines, some definition to the things on the page. So here you can see it, the finished page. I'm very happy with it. You can still read all the text through the page. And how exciting is it when the Lord gives us these pictures in our minds to really solidify the scriptures that we are interacting with and the verses that we are reading. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out till the end. If you liked this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You can comment below with questions. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button if you don't want to miss more videos just like this one. Thanks everyone, and I hope that you dive into the scripture for yourself. It is amazing.